Getting to know plants.
Hello children. After our pre-midterm exam, I welcome each one of you to our science online class. Majority of you had done your pre-midterm exams very well. At the same time, there were few students who did not prepare properly for the exam and had not done it well. Majority of you had not read the guidelines properly. So next time, please see that you read the guidelines and do accordingly. So before the pre-midterm exam, we had already started a new chapter, that is getting to know plants. That was not included for your exam. I hope all of you remember those things that we had discussed in that chapter. So before the exam, we have completed leaf, stem and root. Shall we just recall what all we learned about leaf? Yes. We have already learned few things. What is the stalk of the leaf called? Yes, petiole. What is this flat portion of the leaf called? Lamina. The flat portion of the leaf is called as lamina. This whole surface is called as lamina. What is the main line that goes to the center of the leaf called? Midrib. So this is the midrib. What are the lines that arise from the midrib called? Veins. The arrangement of veins on a leaf is called as venation. If the veins form a network on the either side of the midrib, we call it as reticulate venation. If the veins are seen parallel to one another on the either side of the midrib, we call it as parallel venation. The main function of the leaf is to prepare food. The process is called as photosynthesis. Second function of the leaf is transpiration. The excess water in the leaf or in the plant is removed through evaporation from the leaf in the form of water vapor. This loss of water from the plant in the form of water vapor is called as transpiration. Stomata or small pores present on the leaf helps in transpiration. This transpiration also creates a sucking force, suction pull in the plant, which help in absorption of water from the soil. The function of the stem is to hold the leaf in such a way that it can absorb sunlight. It also transports water from the root to different parts of the plant body. Root also help in transporting food from the leaf to different parts of the plant body and also to the storage organs. Leaf, stem and root can become the storage parts of the plant. In each plant it is different. The edible part of the plant is the part where the food is stored. Next we discussed about the root. The main function of the root is to fix the plant to the soil. It helps in absorbing water and minerals from the soil. There are two types of root system. They are taproot system and fibrous root system. Taproot system, there is a main root which grows deep into the soil, and from the main root, lateral roots will arise. Whereas in fibrous root system, from the base of the stem, fiber-like roots will arise as a bunch. So it is called as fibrous root system. So these were the things that we discussed in the last class, that is before the exam. Today we will be learning about the parts of the flower. We can now observe the flower and learn the parts. Now we may learn the parts of a flower. Flowers are beautiful to see. They are very colorful. Some of the flowers are white, some are red, some are violet. You can see different colors of flowers. But whatever may be the color, most of the flowers have the same parts. All of you would have seen this flower which I am showing you here. What flower is this? Yes, hibiscus flower. This flower is taken, this has got a special arrangement that I will tell you what it is. When we compare with other flowers, it is little different. But whatever it may be, any flower has got 4 parts. I'll show you a bud and explain. Okay. This is the bud of the hibiscus flower. Here you can see small hairy structures. This hairy structures is called as epicalyx. These are seen only in certain flowers. The outermost whorl of a flower is the sepal. This green color part which you see is the sepal. This green color part is the sepal. The main function of the sepal is to protect the flower when it is in the bud condition. When it is a small bud, you will see only this green color sepals. Okay. Here I have taken 3 buds. You can see the smallest one, the next stage and the next stage. Here this bud, can you see any colorful part in this bud? No. This is a small bud. You can see this is a small bud. Here you can see only one floral part, that is the sepal. This is the sepal. Clear? When the flower is in the bud condition, the whole internal organs, internal parts, that is a petal, stamen, pistil, everything is covered and protected by this sepal, green color sepals. So any flower has got 4 whorls or 4 main parts. The outermost whorl of a flower is the sepal. Is it clear? So this sepal's main function is to protect the flower in the bud condition. Clear? When the flower is growing, you can see this is the next stage of the flower. You can see the sepals and the petals are coming out. The flower is becoming big and the petals are coming out. Clear? So here the petals, you can see the sepals are getting opened. Only some of the flowers will have this hairy structures which is called as epicalyx. Clear? This is the calyx, this is a sepal and these petals are going to emerge out. You can see the next stage of the flower. The sepals are here, the flowers, the petals are again up, has come out. So now you would have understood the importance of sepals. Sepals mainly protect the flower in the bud condition. So in the bud condition, petals are protected and inside the petals we can see the other parts of the flower. This is the flower which has opened. Okay, the flower which has opened. Here you can see when I hold it like this, you can see the sepals. Inside the sepal is the colorful petals. You can see the colorful petals. Inner to the petals, you can see this stamens. These hairy structures, I keep it close, you can see it. These hairy structures, can you see? The hair-like structures are called as stamens. Clear? And on the top of the hairy structures, you can see blob-like structures, swollen part. These swollen parts are called as anthers. I will show you in the bud, that will be clear. Okay. These hairy structures are called as filament and the round structure on top is called as the anther. Clear? This part, can you see these 5 structures here on top? This is the stigma. So any flower has got 4 main parts. Which are the 4 main parts? Here sepals. The green color part is the sepal. Inner to the sepal we have the colorful petals. Inner to the petal is the stamen. Stamen has got 2 parts. The hairy structures are called as filament and the swollen structures on top of the tip of the filament is called as the anther. And in the center of the flower we can see the pistil. The top of the pistil is the stigma. So in this hibiscus flower alone we can see this type of arrangement. Clear? Now I will show you another flower. In this flower, can you see this flower? In this flower you can see this thick part, this darker part. This is the stigma, pistil. This one, okay, the center bigger one is the pistil, and the smaller hairy structures are called as the stamens. Is it clear? Now it's very clear. This one is the pistil. What I am touching now is the pistil, okay, and this hair-like structures are called as the stamens. Here there is another flower. This flower blooms at night. In this flower, you can see the pistil and the stamens very clearly. I shall now open the flower and show you the stamens and pistil. All these are stamens. In the tip of the stamen, you can see the anthers. The yellow color structures are anthers. And this one is the pistil. Can you see? This is the pistil. You can see here, this is the pistil. This pistil, when I take separately, you can see this is the style, the stalk is the style, this is the stigma. The top part of the pistil is the stigma. This is the style. And at the bottom, here you cannot see ovary. Usually in a flower, the bottom of the pistil or the style is the ovary. So pistil, this is the female part of a flower. It has got ovary. Here ovary is not seen. I will show you in the hibiscus flower. This is the style and the top part of the pistil is the stigma. Now here is the female part of the flower. That is the innermost whorl of a flower or the part of the flower. Innermost whorl is the pistil or carpel. Pistil has three parts: stigma, style and ovary. The top of the pistil is the stigma. The stalk-like structure is called as the style and the swollen bottom is called as the ovary. So three parts of the pistil are stigma, style and ovary. Clear? This swollen structure is the ovary. If we cut the ovary like this transversely round, inside this ovary we can see small structures, round structures which are called as ovules. So in a flower, the outermost whorl is the sepals. Inner to the sepal we have the colorful petals. And inner to the petals we have the stamens, I showed you previously. And in the center of the flower is the pistil. Okay, pistil has three parts: stigma, style and ovary. Inside the ovary is the ovule. Today we had learned the different parts of a flower. So different parts of the flower are sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. The stalk of the flower is called pedicel. So this much we learned today. Now we shall discuss the different questions which are coming in that chapter. Before going to the questions, please read the topic, that is page number 60 to 62. And there are few questions given in those pages. You have to answer to those questions at the back of the notebook. Once again I repeat, there are few questions on page 60, 61 and 62. Answer to those questions in the back of the biology note. Write the date and then start your work. Now we shall discuss the questions that is there in the textbook and also few extra questions I have given you. So first question. These questions you have to write in the front side of the notebook. Okay. All the questions which I am reading now from this slide, first question onwards, you will write in the front of the notebook. First question. Draw a neat diagram of a taproot and a fibrous root and write one sentence about each. The diagram and the answer is given on page 59. You may read that and write it. Please concentrate while writing. When you send the notebook for checking, I will be just seeing if you have written all the answers. Since I am giving you the answers, I won't be reading the answer word by word. Hope it is clear to you. I won't be reading it word by word. You are in 7th standard and I am giving you all the answers. So please concentrate and write it correctly. Spelling should also be correct. Second question. List the functions of the root. Answer should be written point-wise, one below the other. First point. Roots anchor the plant firmly to the soil. Second, roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. Third question, define photosynthesis. The process by which plants prepare food by using water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is called photosynthesis. There is a question related to this answer in your textbook. When you write that, when you come across that answer, you need not write it once again. The first part alone you need to write which part of the plant prepares food. Okay, that is question number 11. Name the part of plant which produces food. Name the process. That answer you can write in the textbook itself with a pencil. So when you are attending the class, please keep your textbook and notebook near you. So when I am telling the answer, you may write it down in the note. Fourth question. Which of the following leaves have reticulate venation? There are few plants given. Wheat, tulsi, maize, grass, coriander and China rose. Please open your textbook and do this exercise. Okay. That is question number 5. Among these plants, only tulsi, coriander and China rose have reticulate venation. All the others have parallel venation. Okay. Now fifth question. If a plant has fibrous root, what type of venation do its leaves have? Already we have learned if the plants are having fibrous root system, the leaves will be parallel venation. If the plants are having taproot system, the leaves will have reticulate venation. Okay, sixth question. If a plant has leaves with reticulate venation, what kind of roots will it have? If a plant has leaves with reticulate venation, it will have taproot system. Seventh question. Name two plants in which one has joint sepals and the other has separate sepals. Joint sepals, example hibiscus and datura. Separate sepals, rose and lotus. Eighth question. With the help of a neat label diagram, explain the parts of a flower. For this, you have to draw the diagram from the textbook or anywhere, wherever you want. A simple flower is enough. Draw neatly with the pencil and label with the pencil. Don't use pen or sketch pens to draw and label. Use only pencil for drawing and labeling. After drawing the diagram, you may write this explanation. Parts of a flower. The stalk of the flower is called pedicel. The different parts of a flower are sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. The outermost leaf-like part of the flower which protects the flower in the bud stage is the sepals. Inner to the sepals are the colorful petals. They attract insects to the flowers. Inner to the petals are the stamens. Each stamen has a stalk called the filament and a swollen top called the anther. You can write all this point-wise or as paragraphs. Okay. Innermost part of the flower is the pistil. Each pistil has a sticky part on top called the stigma, a stalk-like style and a swollen basal part called the ovary. Ovary contains small bead-like structures called ovules. So this much is needed for the explanation of parts of a flower. You need not write these points in this slide for that answer. This is just for your information. Once again I repeat, these points, what is there in this slide, need not be written in the notebook. Sepals and petals may be joined or they may be separate. It is not necessary that if the sepals are joined, petals should also be joined. They may be joined or separate. The number of sepals, petals, stamens and pistil may also be different in different flowers. It is not necessary that every flower should have the same number of petals, sepals, etc.
Some of these parts may even be absent in certain plants, certain flowers. Next question, that is question number 9. Draw a neat label diagram showing the parts of a stamen and parts of a pistil. This diagram is there on page number 61 and 62. Sorry, 61, not 62, 61. Figure 7.23 and figure 7.24. You need to draw these two diagrams in the note. Only one stamen if you draw, it's enough. Don't want to draw 4 stamens. You need to draw only one stamen and label the parts. Now, all of you take your textbook, page number 64. If you are not having the text, please take the textbook, page number 64. Before you start writing, read the textbook as I read and note the words which are wrong. After that, copy the question in your notebook. You have to write, correct the following statements and rewrite them in your notebook. You have to write the first question. A. Stem absorbs water and minerals from the soil. You have to write the sentence first. Below that, is that statement correct? No. Stem is not absorbing water and minerals from the soil. So what is the correct statement? Yes, it is the roots that absorb water and minerals from the soil. So first you will write the wrong statement, what is there in the textbook, and below that you will correct the wrong word. Here which is the word that is wrong? Stem. I have written in bold letters. Okay. So stem, instead of stem what should you write? Root. Root absorb water and minerals from the soil. Hope you have understood. After that leave a line. Second, that is B. Leaves hold the plant upright. Is that statement correct? No. Which part holds the plant upright? Yes, stem. Stem holds the plant upright. So next line, you have to write the correct statement. Third, that is C. Roots conduct water to the leaves. Are roots conducting water to the leaves? No. So which is wrong there? Roots. So which part conducts water to the leaves? Stem. Okay. So instead of root, in the next line you will write the correct statement. Stem conduct water to the leaves. Now D. The number of petals and stamens in a flower is always equal. Is it correct? No. So next line, the correct statement is the number of petals and stamens in a flower is not always equal. You have to add not there. Is not always equal. E. If the sepals of a flower are joined together, its petals are also joined. Answer correct one. If the sepals of a flower are joined together, its petals may be separate and not joined together. F. If the petals of a flower are joined together, then the pistil is joined to the petals. Answer correct one. If the petals of a flower are joined together, then the pistil is not necessarily joined to the petals. Need not be joined. Okay, it is not necessarily joined to the petals. Hope all the statements you have understood. So write first the wrong statement, what is there in the textbook. Below that you will write the correct statement and underline the term which you have corrected. Here I have darkened, I have written in bold letters which are wrong. So only that statement, that particular word or the phrase you have to correct and write in the next line. Okay. Now on page number 64, majority of the questions we have finished writing. Only few questions we have not written. That is first one, question number 8. Page number is 64. Please take your textbook. Please look into the textbook. Page 64, question number 8. Is it possible for you to find out whether a plant has taproot or fibrous roots by looking at the impression of its leaf on a sheet of paper. What do you mean by impression? You keep a keep a leaf under the paper and shade it with a pencil. You will get a border of the veins. So by looking this impression, will you be able to identify which type of root system it has? Yes. How will you identify? Okay. If the leaves are having reticulate venation, if it is forming a network, then the roots will be yes, taproot system. If the leaves are having parallel venation, then the roots will be fibrous. So we can understand which type of root system the plant has by looking at the impression of the leaf. Next question number 10. From the following plants, which of them have flowers? All the plants given here have flowers. Okay. Then question number 11. Name the part of the plant which produces food. Name the process. This you can write in the textbook itself. I told you previously when I told the question. Because you need to write only one word. Name the part which produces food. Leaf. What is the process called? Photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? You have already written the definition in the note. Now question number 12. In which part of a flower will you find the ovary? Which part of the flower will you find ovary? Yes, pistil. Pistil. Question number 13. Name two plants in which one has joint sepals and the other has separate sepal. That already we have written. So with that, we have come to the end of this chapter. We have completed all the question answers. I think one answer you have not written, that is, what is venation? I am not sure whether you have written venation. If you have not written venation, please write down from the textbook. Okay, what is venation? What are the two types of venation? You may please write it from the text. All the others we have finished. What is transpiration also? If you have not written, you can write from the textbook. Okay, definition. The loss of water from the leaves in the form of water vapor is called as transpiration. That also you can write if you have not written. So with that, we have come to the end of this chapter. Complete all the question answers. You will be getting this class on Monday. Complete your notes and 6A students will send the notebook to me by Tuesday evening. So before 7 o'clock, all the 6A notebooks should reach me. There is no compromise for that. After Monday, I won't be correcting your notebook. I won't be checking your notes. Wednesday morning, 6B and 6C students can send your notebooks. So 6A notebooks I will finish that day. So 6B and 6C can send your notebooks on Tuesday morning. Till afternoon, I will accept your notes. Okay. Please be clear with that. Tuesday, 6A will send. Wednesday, 6B and 6C will send the notebooks to me. So that it will be easy for me to check your notes. Hope you will do it properly. After that, if you send your notes, I won't be checking it. So you can do it on your own. Anyway, I won't be checking word by word because all the things are given as question answers or you will be copying from the textbook. So it is your duty to concentrate while writing. Hope you will do it. Thank you.